يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وشفيع نفوسنا أبا القاسم محمد اللهم صل وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الميامين المنتجبين. I begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, the kindest to the believers, the one who has allowed us to gather here tonight from His blessings so that we can remember His name and glorify Him, inshallah. And we'd also like to congratulate our living Imam on the auspicious occasion of Imam Muhammad Al-Baqir A.S. birthday, and also the commencing of Rajab, which happens on the same day. So inshallah tonight, if we have the chance in the limited time, we're going to talk a little bit about Rajab, Al-Asab, and how can we prepare for Ramadan, and also a little bit about Imam Al-Baqir A.S. And inshallah, if you join us for a quiz, we're going to have a quiz about Imam Al-Baqir on Kahoot. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The Holy Quran says, "Inna iddata shuhuri عند الله 12 شهرا في كتاب الله يوم خلق السماوات والأرض." Translation for that part is, indeed, in the sight of Allah, since the day He has, or He created the skies and the earth, the number of months have been 12, registered in the book of Allah. So since the time of creation, heaven and earth, Allah has already placed 12 months, which is the literal translations. And the verse continues, "Minha arba'atun hurum." From these 12 months, there are 4 that are sacred. But the verse continues. Many scholars usually stop here and talk about the 4 sacred months, but I just want to continue just one more line after this. ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ, and فَلَا تَظْلِمُوا فِيهِنَّ أَنفُسَكُمْ. Don't be unjust to your own selves or to your souls. Do not commit any injustice. Even though this is it's a general statement, it could be talking about people in war at the time of the kuffar or the mushrikeen. Don't fight. But it's a general statement. Don't even commit a sin in these 4 special months. What are the 4 months? Does anyone know? This is just a question for the audience. What are the 4 sacred months that we have? Yep. Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hajj, that's 1. 2? 2 more. Ramadan, no? Rajab, Ahsant. 1 more. Muharram, whoever said that, mashallah. Good. So that's 4. Very good. So out of these 4, it's amazing that at the time of Jahiliyyah, when I say Jahiliyyah, it means before Islam, okay? before the commencement of Islam. Jahiliyyah is usually a term referred to that. It's amazing that that these juhala had weird practices, yeah? They would bring idols, they would mix up certain practices of the Abrahamic religion, mix up their own thing. In Hajj, for example, they would walk and do tawaf around the Kaaba naked, which is a practice they made up and came up, I don't know where it came from. But majority of them would, these 4 months, they still held them as sacred. A lot of them. Some of them had fights during these 4 months, but a lot of them still held these 4 months as sacred. Because this goes back and back and back, as the verse said, from the beginning of time. Out of these 4 months, yeah, we're saying that these juhala used to respect these 4 months. That Imam Al-Rida A.S. says that it's amazing that at the time of the Jahil, the juhala, that these people used to respect these 4 months. But during our ummah, our time, they disrespected these 4 months by killing the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa. That our time we disrespected these 4 months. If you notice in the calendar, there's Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, Muharram. They're 3 connected. They call these 3 the 3 months connected to Hajj. So what usually people do, I was researching this, people usually, Muharram is considered the new Islamic year according to consensus, even though it's not the first day of Hijrah. Hijrah was in Rabi' al-Awwal. But Muharram, based on consensus of some scholars, is that it was Muharram, the beginning of the new year, or beginning of the Islamic calendar, for example, even though it was Rabi' al-Awwal. Anyway, usually these people, they begin a New Year's resolution in Muharram. They have this social calendar where they come up with new goals, such as, I want to go on a diet, I want to look for a job, I want to, he's laughing at someone, I want to get a job, I want to go on a diet, I want to get married. They have a New Year's resolution based on Muharram, yeah? And they try to accomplish these goals. But we also have this spiritual calendar, which starts in Rajab. Rajab, why in Rajab? Because it's supposed to prepare us for something bigger. It's supposed to prepare us for Ramadan. Yeah? Imagine an athlete, yeah? Someone who has a tournament, someone who has a karate tournament or basketball tournament, whatever it is. What do? They don't just turn up to the tournament and start fighting or play the game. No. They practice. They do pre-seasons, pre-workouts. They do all these things so that they can be successful at that tournament. Imagine going to the Olympics, yeah? Do you think this guy just woke up one day and decided to go get gold medal? It doesn't work that way. Usain Bolt, I called him Hussein for a second. Hussein, he used to practice and practice and practice till he got to his success. It's only us, Muslims, we wake up on the 1st of Ramadan, yeah, I'm ready. It doesn't work like that. Even though we think like that, it doesn't work like that. That's why the first 10 days, the first 20 days, we're all sluggish. We're all going, oh, now it's kicked in on the 20th day. Ramadan's finished now. You wasted 20 days. Ramadan is an invitation to sit at the table. They call it the banquet of Allah. For any little sin you commit in Ramadan, even though it doesn't break your fast, certain sins, but you've broken the spiritual fast. You're kicked out of this table. That's why we prepare ourselves in Rajab and in Sha'ban so that we can be ready for Ramadan pure. But it's not just as that, yeah? It's not just preparing us for that. Allah also gives us rewards for doing certain actions, certain deeds in Rajab. Imagine your boss comes to you and says, you earn $20 an hour, right? And then he says, come work on Saturday, I'll give you $200 an hour to benefit him. Would you go? I would. I definitely would go for $200 an hour. Allah is saying, do this act and I will reward you more than this $200 an hour. But Allah's not benefiting from this. You are. Allah doesn't need your benefit. Allah gives benefits. So some of these rewards, I thought I mentioned some of these deeds, but you can refer back to books such as Mafatih al-Jinan for more details. But I picked out a few so that maybe you can apply them in Rajab. In Rajab, we don't know what day it is. It should be The calendar says the 1st of January, but based on the moon sighting, if we can, usually there's moon wars. Everyone fights over the moon war during Ramadan. But a mu'min fights over the moon war in Rajab, because he wants to see Rajab. There's so much benefits in Rajab, and all the way down to Ramadan. So there's moon wars all the way through. But regardless of that, the rewards. Whoever fasts for 3 days in Rajab, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, will be rewarded 900 years of worship. 900 years. You know, imagine us worshipping 80 years of our life if we survive that long. It's probably not worth that much in the eyes of Allah. Well, mine probably isn't. Yours is worth a lot more. But 900 years of worship. On a side note, you get these people that say, oh, I'm going to fast these 3 days, I'm not going to worship anymore because I've done 900 years. I've done all this. The same people that say, you know, the verse that says, وَعْبُدُ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Worship your Lord, your nurturer, until you reach, or until you get yaqeen. So yaqeen literally means certainty. So these people say that, yeah, I'm certain. I don't need to worship anymore. Because it says worship until you reach certainty. But here, yaqeen means death here. Why would the Prophet keep worshiping? So the Prophet didn't have certainty? Of course he did. Imam Ali didn't have certainty? Of course they did. Why did they keep worshipping all the way? Anyway, that was a side note. Imam Musa al-Qadhim alayhi salam, whoever fasts 1 day in the month of Rajab will have the fire of hell kept away from him the distance of 1 year walking. Okay? So I typed this in Google just before I came here. I go, how far is 1 year walking from Sydney? Where would I end up? I said, how far is it to Perth? They said, you get before 1 year easy to Perth. And I think, whoa, 1 year, Perth. I go, what about another way? They said, it's impossible, you have to cross the water. I go, imagine I have to cross the water on foot. How far would I get? They said, you get as far as China for 1 year walking. Imagine that, subhanAllah. That's how far the hellfire will be for me. Inshallah, we don't feel it if we just fast 1 day. The hadith continues, whoever fasts for 3 days during Rajab, it doesn't say any specific day, any time, 3 days in Rajab, Jannah is wajib for him, it's compulsory. He's definitely going to Jannah. Subhanallah, this is a gift. I don't care about $200 an hour if I'm getting this. The Prophet, peace be upon him, says, indeed, Rajab is the month of Allah. There's a various version of this, but this is the version I took. Rajab is the month of Allah, Sha'ban is my month, and Ramadan is the month of my ummah. Whoever fasts 1 day in Rajab deserves the greatest pleasure of Allah. So this pleasure is what mu'mins usually try and reach. Mu'mins, the imams have taught us, you know, heaven's rewards, this is not our goal. We want the pleasure of Allah. Anyone that feels or has a taste of this pleasure would want more and more. They don't care about these rewards, even though they come second nature to us. But the hadith continues. The wrath of Allah moves away from him, and a door from the doors of hell is closed for him. The Prophet, peace be upon him, says, now that was just fasting. Now, just a bit of prayers here. One who prays 10 rak'ahs. So, whenever you see these mustahab prayers, it says 10 rak'ahs, 20 rak'ahs, it means rak'ahs in two rak'ah intervals, meaning 2, 2, 2, 2, unless it specifically says otherwise. So 10 rak'ahs would mean how many prayers? 5 prayers in 2 rak'ahs, like Fajr prayer, right? So whoever prays 10 rak'ahs, in each rak'ah, he recites Surah Al-Fatiha and Surah Al-Ikhlas 3 times, Allah will forgive all your sins. This is a great goal. Rajab, all your sins, whatever you have committed in the past, there's no condition in this. It doesn't say if, only this prayer, at any time, all the sins. Subhanallah. Another report, the Prophet, peace be upon him. Whoever seeks forgiveness 100 times and gives sadaqah straight away after it, Allah will conclude your life with mercy and forgiveness. And this is the last hadith here I wrote. It says, whoever recites La ilaha illallah 1,000 times in Rajab. Now, it doesn't say 1,000 times in one night. It says in Rajab. You can do 100 a night. You can do 30 a night. If you do 30 a night, 30 nights, 900, maybe 30 something. You reach 1,000. What do you get? What's the reward? 100,000 rewards Allah gives you. Plus 100 towns Allah builds for you. Or 100 cities. Not 100 houses, 100 cities. So if Sydney is a city, you get 100 Sydneys. What would you do with that? SubhanAllah. I'll have you over, Hassan. You can come over my city. if I ever get there. Now, there was something important that I found quickly before I go to Imam Baqir A.S. I found an inner interpretation of a hadith that talks about Rajab is something zahir into something that is batin. So Rajab is something manifest or apparent to something that is hidden from this hadith that comes. So the hadith is from Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi salam, where he says, Rajab is a river in paradise. Its milk, its color is whiter than milk, and its taste is sweeter than honey. Whoever fasts one day in Rajab will have Allah quench his thirst from that river. Now milk, what the inner interpretation of this, some have said, is that milk is universally regarded as something pure, a pure food. Yeah, it's nourishing and a source of life and strength. Acts in Rajab are also a spiritual nourishment, okay, helping us cleanse our hearts and souls. What else did he say? That was milk. But he said before that, whiter than milk. The color white is also a pure color. It's actually the purest color according to the some reports I saw. So whiteness represents purity and light, signifying cleansing in Rajab, right? Same thing what Rajab does. So honey is the next one. What's honey? Honey is a source of sweetness and life? Vitamin, yeah, so health benefits, yeah. Sorry? Shifa, okay, yes. So honey is a source of sweetness and healing, I want to say, okay? Because doctor can answer this too, because he's a doctor. I've seen reports that honey can has a lot of medical, so he's nodded, he's agreed with what I've said. Oh yeah, where's the doctor? There's a doctor over there as well, doctor, yeah. So, where do I say? Honey is known for its sweetness and healing properties. The sweetness of the river signifies the joy and satisfaction, contentment you have in this month, being close to Allah. Remember we were saying the pleasure of Allah is great? This is what you have in Rajab. It's also a healing property. It also heals you. How? When you do these acts in Rajab, you do fasting, you do istighfar, these things are healing and cleansing your soul. So this is the hidden reality of Rajab, according to the inner interpretation of that verse. With Rajab, as we said, inshallah, Allah gives us the opportunity to fulfill certain acts in Rajab and prepare us for Ramadan. For Imam Muhammad Al-Baqir A.S, which also appears on the same day, according to narrations, 1st of Rajab, he was born 57 after Hijrah. Does anyone know when Karbala, the event happened? Does anyone know the year after Hijrah? Yeah? AH. Someone said something? 60. One more, 61, yeah. The narration I've seen 61, could be 60, but 61. So if Imam Muhammad Al-Baqir A.S was born in 57 AH, how old would he be in Karbala? Yeah, just below 4, because it is Muharram and Rajab is 4. So 4, just below 4, right? His father was Imam, close? So who's the father of Imam Al-Baqir A.S? Imam Zain al-Abidin. Hassan. I'm asking these questions because some of these are going to be Kahoot, yeah? So I'm trying to make it easy and interactive. So it doesn't surprise us the way he started to think, because he witnessed what he witnessed at a young age in Karbala. Each imam had a specific role, and they succeeded in those roles. Imam Ali alayhi salam had a specific role to do. Imam Hassan had a specific role. They were all different roles. Imam Hussein had a specific role. Imam Zain al-Abidin. Imam al-Baqir saw the opportunity when Banu Umayyah was falling by the blessing of Allah. He saw the opportunity to start an Islamic university, to bring knowledge out of ignorance. Ignorance was full. Why do you think he's called Al-Baqir or Baqir al-Ulum? Baqir means the one who splits open knowledge, the one who brings knowledge or light from ignorance. The one where ignorance has completely covered knowledge, he split that open and brought this wisdom and knowledge. That's why most of our jurisprudence laws, our Sharia laws, and other sciences all come from Imam Muhammad Al-Baqir A.S. and Imam Ja'far As-Sadiq A.S. We owe them a lot. That's why sometimes we refer to our Shias as Ja'fari, because Imam Ja'far As-Sadiq A.S., he took what his father had and put a lot more, obviously, because he had more time, more different situation, and he built it. But this is all based on the foundation of the previous Imams and Imam Muhammad Al-Baqir A.S. He had a companion named Muslim bin Muhammad, or Muhammad bin Muslim. Sorry, I forgot his name. Muslim bin Muhammad. He said that he memorized 30,000 traditions just from Imam Al-Baqir A.S. 30,000. And then we have Zurara, who's a famous companion of Imam Sadiq. He memorized so much and so much. So we owe them a lot. So many sciences. I'll just tell you one story, inshallah, and then we can do the quiz. What time is Salah? Okay, so I'll try and cut this off at 1:15. One story is that at his time, there was a caliph. Abdullah, Malik bin Abdullah, or Abdullah bin Malik bin Marwan. I think that was his name. Anyway, they had a dilemma with the Romans where they didn't let them use their currency anymore. The currency had Christian symbols on it at the time of the Romans, crosses, and it became a big problem for the Muslims. And the Romans said, if you don't keep accepting this, we're going to cut it. So they put sanctions, as Donald Trump done to Iran and all these things. They put sanctions on the Muslims at that time. They came into a dilemma. They had no more currency. What are they going to do? They called Imam Baqir A.S. because they knew him for his knowledge. How can he solve this issue? He solved it. He goes, let's create our own currency. So he guided them all the way from the start to the finish. He told them what material to use, whether it's gold or silver. What to write on it. He wrote, La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. He weighed it. He gave the measurement of each one. He also guided it to who it should go to. And this led them to be successful and all other things. On another side note, sorry, I keep getting these side notes. You know, Islamic coins are called dinar. This is not related, by the way. I just thought I'd mention it. It was interesting that I came across it. Dinar and dirham. You know, coins, we have dinar and dirham. Now, these two words apparently come from the Greeks, or I think it was Greeks, yeah? Originally Greek words, Persians maybe. That's what I found anyway. But there was a symbolic meaning behind these as well. They said dinar is split into two words, din and nar. The symbolic meaning of this is that if this becomes your deen, and keep accumulating wealth and wealth and wealth, your destination is obviously nar. Dirham. Dirham, symbolic meaning again. Dir is something that is like a calamity or burden. Ham is something anxiety. You always got this anxiety and worriness. And that's what's going to happen if you keep following and following, forgetting about your deeds in this life, just following about this material. That's what you're going to have in this life. Anyway, that was a side story. I thought it was interesting, inshallah. Symbolic meaning, but I'll just finish off with one hadith from Imam Baqir A.S. where he says, if the ignorant person never spoke, there would never be corruption in the world. See all these wars that happen here with Israel and Palestine? It would have started from an ignorant person speaking. All these wars that we have on social media, someone said something ignorantly, and it started the war. And I'll give you one example, and I'll finish off. We have a YouTube channel, and my daughter was reciting one of Allah's names. She was explaining one of Allah's names, and she gave a hadith from Imam Ali alayhi salam. And she said, Imam Ali alayhi salam, such and such and such. So we get one guy, he says, alayhi salam is for prophets. Why are you calling Imam Ali a prophet? Stop using alayhi salam and teach your kids properly. That was his ignorant comment. I think only if you didn't speak, there would never be mischief in the world, you know. So I replied to him. I said, we never said that Imam Ali was a prophet, first of all. Second of all, alayhi salam is proven in your own books from Bukhari. So I sent him the link exactly where Bukhari says Hussein alayhi salam. Ali alayhi salam. Fatima alayha salam. He says it clearly in the Arabic. I sent him the link. He replies, Bukhari doesn't say that. What are you talking about? So I replied to him, I said, "What? You obviously don't read Arabic. It says it clearly in Arabic. The English, it's not there, because whoever translated it took it out for a reason. But the Arabic is clear as daylight. You can ignore it all you want." Then he replies to me, "I read Arabic perfectly, but I don't trust myself," he said. And I said, "What do you mean you don't trust yourself? He says it clear here. It says, alayhi salam. What more interpretation do you need? It says it." And kept going back and forth. And I said to him at the end, "You can twist all the stories that you want. You're like these people that Allah curses. When clear evidence comes to you, you deny it and deny it." And the conversation, you can find it online, it's still there. He tried to edit a few comments, so you're going to see his comments edited. He took out the comment where it says he claimed that we believe Imam Ali is a prophet. He took that out. But I'm sure you can click a button where it says show edited version. I'm pretty sure you could see that. There was another story, but we don't have time for it. But inshallah next time. So inshallah get out your phones for Kahoot in the limited time we have. Sallu ala Muhammad.